Justice systems, from legal experts to everyday Americans, that is what folks saw when Judge Merchan sentenced the president-elect in his hush money case. For many, the sentence being the operative word here. That is because Trump received what's called an unconditional discharge for 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Again, no jail time, no probation. The only thing that really sticks is the title of convicted felon. So you can fully understand why this is rather nuts. Each of the felony counts Trump was convicted of is punishable by up to 4 years in prison and fines of up to $5,000 for each count. Again, Donald Trump has 34. So I'm going to let you do the math and ask yourself, who else could walk out of that courtroom unscathed? Trump's slap on the wrist shines a bright light on the inequities of our justice system. And according to the MacArthur Justice Center, more than 70% of the U.S. jail population, that is roughly 536,000 people, are in pretrial detention, meaning that they have not even been convicted of a crime, just charged, unable to afford bail. Yet Trump, he's going to get the White House. He won't have to serve any jail time. Instead, he gets the distinct honor of becoming leader of the free world as a convicted felon. Elie Mystal is back with me. Elie, in announcing the decision Friday, Judge Merchan cited the immunity and legal protections that Trump will soon have as president. Could he have gone another way here? Was he stuck?
At this point, if I was Merchan, I would have gone a different way, but he would have been overturned. And so the question I think Merchan had was he going to make a symbolic sentence that would have kind of kept his own head high, only to be eventually overturned by the corrupt justices on the Supreme Court? And instead, Merchan went the other way, and perhaps the more practical way, perhaps the less honorable way, perhaps the more cowardly way, and let Trump walk with not even a slap on the wrist. A slap on the wrist would have been more than what Trump got. And the reason why we're here is, I mean, there are so many reasons, but the one that is shining in my face right now is the whiteness, right? This is something that is only available to white people in this country. It's particularly only available to rich white people in this country. But even a rich, wealth is not the deciding factor here. A rich black man wouldn't have gotten nothing in the way that Merchan just gave Trump. Only a rich white man like Donald Trump could achieve this version of a legal victory, and everybody knows it. Right, Eamon? I mean, I am not saying anything controversial. Everybody in their core, in their gut, understands that Trump's wealth and whiteness are why he was put in this situation, right? Everybody gets that. And yet nobody seems to want to do anything about that ever. Everybody just seems like it is a fact of life, it is a fact of our system, it is a fact of our country that we just kind of accept as a fact, as immutable, as intractable. And that's where we are.
You bring up a very important point about privilege here, racial and socioeconomic privilege. Our good friend of the show, Charles Coleman Jr., wrote an MSNBC op-ed, and he writes that Friday's sentencing, echoing what you just said, is a meaningless bark from a system that has otherwise licked Trump's hand. Going forward, Elie, what precedent does this set for future U.S. presidents and for our legal system?
Well, Republican presidents or Democratic presidents again, right? Because I'm going to go back to what I was saying before. Obviously, Republican presidents know that they can commit crimes with impunity and expect no retribution, expect no accountability. Democratic presidents will not take that lesson. Democratic presidents will continue to play by a rule book that does not exist for Republican presidents, and that's what they're going to do going forward. So obviously the worry here is not just about Trump anymore, although the Supreme Court has given him absolute immunity to continue committing crimes as long as he calls his crimes official acts. Given what he did in his first term, we can only expect more criming in his second term. But whoever follows Trump, whether it's J.D. Vance or whoever shadow president Elon Musk wants to succeed Donald Trump, they will also have that same immunity, and they're probably going to use it. If Democrats ever get back in charge, we can expect that they won't use it. And that, again, it becomes the asymmetric war that the Democratic Party is always trying to fight and always losing, right? So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, in terms of precedent, I want to be very clear here. None of this had to happen.
Right.
And probably most of it wouldn't have happened if Joe Biden had picked an attorney general who was interested in prosecuting rich white people for crimes, right? And so one of the precedents I hope comes out of this is that Merrick Garland and people like Merrick Garland are no longer given power by Democratic administrations. And I know that that is a pie in the sky hope, right? That one day Democrats will join the battle. But one thing I hope is that one day Democrats join the battle and stop appointing people like Merrick Garland who are going to look the other way and give people like Donald Trump, give people who are politically powerful and connected a pass on criminal justice, and instead go after the powerful people with the same zeal and effort they go after any two-bit drug hopper on the street.
Right.
That's one thing that I would love to see that's one lesson I would love the Democrats to learn from the tragedy that has happened over the past 4 years.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears, my friend. Elie, stick around. I want to hear your thoughts on the Supreme Court weighing in on